Hey everyone, I'm Keri Hoyt. Welcome to your practice. So today I thought we would work on some grounding, hip opening, lower back stuff. So as most of you are finding that you're probably sitting a lot more now that you're home. Some of you work from home, others maybe you're running around reorganizing your fridge for the 18th time. So we'll do some heart opening, chest opening, shoulder opening stuff too. I also wanted to focus a little bit on our root chakra, as right now is certainly a time that we can feel ungrounded. So that's the part that the root chakra is governed by our basic needs, survival stuff. So everything that's going on right now is really truly threatening our basic needs. So we'll get that rebalanced a little bit today too. So grab whatever props you're used to using. If you don't have any, that's fine too. We'll make it work. So welcome to your practice. Let's settle in. We're going to start in Dandasana, staff pose. So sitting on your mat, lengthwise, take the legs out in front of you. Bring the hands to your outer hips. Okay. If you need to, for whatever reason, whether hamstrings are pretty tight for you, maybe you want to sit up on a blanket there too, that's fine. So otherwise, press out through the heels, put a little bend in the knees, almost the distance of like a rolled towel, maybe a rolled mat. Okay. Again, hands to the outer hips, whether it's fingertips, base of the fingers, or palms. Lift through the heart. And then take your drishti to the toes, or you can close your eyes. And we're going to start here. This is one of our foundational chakra, our foundational postures for our root chakras. So we're going to settle in here, maybe switch on your ujjayi breath. Just allow your eyes to close, or again, take the drishti to the toes. A few more moments here. Keep rooting into the sitting bones. Shoulders are drawing back. Feet are active. Spread both sets of toes. Press out through Pada Bandha. Good. Hands are like little kickstands. If you want to keep them here, you can. If you feel like you've got the support through the core and the spine, maybe even bring the hands to the heart. If you have an intention that you'd like to set for your practice, do that here. And as you inhale, reaching both arms up, flip the palms to face each other, thumbs face the wall behind you, set the shoulders down. Then inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, super easy, Paschimottanasana, bring the hands to the outer edges of your mat, outer calves. And then just let the head drop. Let's take a breath here. Good. And then pressing into the sitting bones, inhale, lengthen all the way back up, reach the arms up again. Set the shoulders down, take an inhale, reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, easy Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. And then maybe even moving a little bit dynamically with the breath as you inhale, find a little length, little space here. And then exhale, go ahead and round, let the head drop, fold. We'll do that again. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, maybe out through the mouth. Just allow that exhale to leave. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, folding forward. Easy Paschimottanasana. Doesn't have to be your deepest forward fold ever. Good. And then press into the sitting bones. Inhale, lift the chest, come on up. Good. We'll come around to hands and knees, so however you need to get there. Okay. You can even start to practice your jump backs. We'll get into those a little bit later if you'd like. So step the knees back, hands forward. If you need to modify for the wrists for any reason, you can pop up onto fingertips. If you're taking knuckles, that's cool. Just inner wrists face each other. Otherwise, if you're to the palms, middle fingers face forward or point forward, and then press the hands into the floor. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, tuck the chin, start to round the upper back, middle back, lower back into your cat stretch. And when it's time for your inhale, just reverse the arch in the spine. Roll the sitting bones up toward the ceiling, open through the chest, the throat, look forward. Good. And then again, exhale, rounding. And then maybe after a few cycles of your cat-cow, if it feels good to roll it out through the shoulders or Maybe start to roll it out through the hips, even a little bit of movement side to side. You get some time just to play here, so I just encourage you to close your eyes. Move as your body wants you to move. And if that means you find at the bottom of your exhale, sitting back into a child's pose, or maybe even darn near one, okay? Alternatively, you can even follow that inhale all the way into a gentle upward facing dog, pressing the palms into your mat, lift the chest. Got a couple more rounds of breath here. Again, just fluid. Close your eyes and listen. Good. And we'll do one more cycle of breath here. Nice. And then from here, curl the toes under. Stay lifted through the chest, through the sitting bones. And then as you exhale, find your way into your first downward facing dog. Let the legs be the last thing to straighten, if at all. Okay, we've done a little bit of talking to the hammies so far, but really not a whole lot. So even playing with alternately bending and straightening the legs, maybe swiveling on the balls of the feet, dropping the heels side to side. Just take your time here, kind of feel your way into your downward facing dog. Hands are shoulder width, feet are hip width. Press the chest back toward the thighs, whether it's bent knees or straighter legs. And then really looking back toward your ankles or the wall behind you. And maybe just for a moment, glance forward, look at the palms. Make sure you're rooting down through the entire span of the palm by rooting down through the base of the index finger, base of the thumb. Let that energy spread through the entire span of the palm. Spiral the forearms down toward your mat. We're going to come into Malasana garland pose. So for you, whether that means you walk the hands back and bring the feet slightly wider than hip width apart, or certainly can jump forward into it. I'm going to walk the hands back, okay? And then once you get here, turn the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, sink the hips, coming into our garland pose here. So if you've got your balance feeling pretty good, maybe connect the hands to the heart, okay? Option here is if you've got a block handy, a couple things you can do with that. And just place it out in front of you, okay? If you're really tired, have a seat, okay? Good. For those of you that have a little bit more flexibility in the hips, might even be able to walk the feet a little bit further apart, drop the heels all the way to the mat, okay? If the hands are to the heart, lift the heart up to meet the thumbs. Take a breath here. Good. Nice. And then release the hands. Hands or fingertips to the floor or to your block. Start to straighten the legs, lift the hips, coming into Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. So maybe pull the toes so they're facing forward. Feet can still be about hip width apart. Maybe even hook the elbows. Again, hands can rest to the blocks or to your mat. Bend the knees as much or as little as you need to. And then let the head relax, let the neck relax. Maybe give it a shake, yes, no. And then maybe after several breaths, you can start to pull the legs slightly more straight. Maybe not yet. Okay. Breathe here. Relax your face. And just allow the weight of your upper body to lengthen the spine away from the pelvis, the lower ribs. If you've got a hold of the elbows, just release the hands. Maybe deep bend in the knees, some more than others. Press through the feet. Inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Keep the knees bent until the pelvis is in neutral. And then shoulders over the hips. Go ahead and straighten out the legs. Coming into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Okay, so wherever you find yourself on your mat here is just fine. Palms and biceps spin forward. If your Tadasana is already hip width apart, stay there, okay? If you need to make an adjustment with the feet, maybe feet are together, maybe big toes together, heels slightly apart, okay? Ears in alignment over the shoulders. Again, connect with your breath here. Got a couple rounds of breath here in our kind of our home base for our standing postures, Tadasana, mountain pose. Super grounding, super supportive of our root chakra. Good. You're strong but not rigid. And then when you're ready on your inhale, reaching both arms up, Bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose, okay? Right here, we kind of want to pull the weight back into our heels. A little mindful big toe adjustment here. I want you to press the pads of your big toes into the mat like you're gently pressing down 2 buttons, okay? Draw the lower belly in. Ujjayi breath is your friend here, okay? You want to support the lumbosacral here, so strong breath, samastiti, equal standing through the feet. And then bring the hands to the heart, taking a twist toward me. Hook that elbow to the outside of that knee closest to me. Press your palms together to leverage your twist. Sink the hips. Maybe take a peek at the knees. That'll tell you that your hips are even, that there's no rotation in your lower back. Okay? Lift the heart. Take a breath here. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. Untwist. Good. Press to stand. Come all the way up. Exhale, let that go. Easy Uttanasana. Just a little break here. Fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need. Good. And then reach the hands behind you. Fingertips reach toward the wall or the couch or the cat behind you. Inhale, sweep them up into Utkatasana. Sit back. Nice. If this is too much compression on the shoulders, that's fine. Take them wide. Bend the elbows. Good. Taking that twist to the other side. Hands to the heart. Hook that opposite elbow to the opposite knee. This knee might want to jut forward. Draw back on that hip crease. Leverage your twist by pressing the elbow into the outer knee, hands together. Breathe here. Relax the tongue as best as you can. Good. Inhale. Good. Exhale, untwist. Inhale, press to stand. Come all the way up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Again, let's let that hang out a little bit and rest. Maybe hook the elbows, bend the knees if you need. Okay. And then maybe even here a little bit moving dynamically with the breath. Maybe inhale, whether it's fingertips to the floor, hands to the blocks, or if you've got a hold of the elbows. And as you exhale, just fold forward, whether that means you lengthen the spine or you bend the knees. Again, our body sometimes wants to pull the weight back into the heels, causing our pelvis to drift behind our ankles. A little mindful big toe adjustment here draws the pelvis forward so it's in more of an upright, aligned position over the ankles. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way up, whether that's rolling up with bent knees or inhale, coming up with a flat back. Right on. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Good. And then from here, inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive or draw the hands through heart center, your choice. Inhale, lengthen it out, half forward fold, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Good. Little bend in the knees. Let's step that right foot far back into our mid-lunge. Sink the hips, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, set that right knee to the mat, release to the top of your right foot. Inhale into your Anjaneyasana, whether it means hands to that left knee or reach both arms up, palms in, thumbs back. Set the shoulders down. Start to lift the heart, lifting so that the wrists are over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. And now don't work too fast into this. If the hips aren't quite up for this, it's a lot of stretch, a lot of sensation in the top of that right thigh, right hip. So if that's a little bit too much, back off a little bit. You don't need to rush into sinking the hips down and forward toward that left heel, okay? Alternatively, you can be here and then press that left knee away so the shoulders are over the hips. Relax the shoulders, okay? Relax your heart. Lift it up toward the chin. Good. And then from wherever the hands are at as you exhale, bring them back to the floor. Curl the right toes under. Pick up that right knee. Exhale, step that left foot back, downward facing dog. Good. And here too, maybe finding a little bit of movement side to side. Good. Nice. We're going to skip the vinyasa for this first round. Let's just bring that right foot forward between the hands. However you need to get it all the way up there. Okay. Press out through that left heel. Exhale, left knee to the floor, top of that left foot. Inhale into your Anjaneyasana, low lunge here. Palms in, thumbs back. Set the shoulders down. Lift the fingertips, sink the hips. Good. Again, you can be here. You can be hands to the blocks. if you have them. Relax the tongue. And then maybe after several breaths, you can start to move the hips down and forward toward that right heel. Okay? And then from wherever the hands are at, exhale, bring the hands to the floor on either side of that right foot. Stepping that left foot forward as you come right into Ardha Uttanasana, whether that's hands to the shins, hands to the blocks, or if the hammies are up for it, maybe fingertips to your mat. Exhale, refold. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Take a moment here. Connect with your breath. Maybe connecting with your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice today. Remember that your yoga practice allows you to connect with that part of you that is constant, that is stable, that is loving, that is calm, that always has the answer to whatever situation, whatever question, even if that means just being and waiting and allowing. Good. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand salute. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, half forward fold, lengthen here. Keep this length as you exhale, refold. Either step back, or for those of you a little more advanced, maybe floating through Chaturanga right into your Vinyasa. Okay? You can always skip the Vinyasa here. Stay in down dog. You can move through Cobra, through Ashtapranam, nose, chin, chest. You can come into a plank back into down dog, or you can skip it all together. Okay? If you're choosing Chaturanga, inhale, shift forward, come into plank. Think airplane landing rather than elevator descending. Tailbone is lengthening back towards your heels. Heels extend back, crown of the head reaches forward. And the whole body shifts forward. Chest, crown. Hug the elbows in. It's a halfway hover, okay? And then press into the hands, straighten the elbows, lift the chest into your upward facing dog or low cobra, even high cobra. Head and neck are the very last two. Get involved if at all. Exhale, make your way back into your downward facing dog. Whether you roll over the toes or flip them over one at a time. And then looking forward, walk, step, or jump. Both feet up to the front of the mat. Half forward fold, lengthen here. Exhale, refold. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, refold. Right foot steps far back. Turn and ground the right foot. Reach the right fingertips forward, gaze follows. And now press into the feet as you come all the way up and around into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Okay. Take a look at that front knee. Make sure that front knee, if it's the left, it is for me, pointing toward front of your mat, shin and knee are vertical, and the center of your kneecap is right in between your second and third toe. So think a little more pinky toe side edge. Okay. We let that arch collapse, lose Padabandha, that knee's going to drift inward. Think a little outer foot side, okay? Relax the shoulders. Good. And then pivoting here into Prasarita Padottanasana. Straighten out that left leg or whatever forward leg is for you. Pivot on the heels, pull the toes forward, hands to the hips. If you need to adjust the width of your stance here, that's fine. Maybe the toes are pointing out to the outer corners of your mat. Start to fold forward. Reach the heart forward, bending from the hips. Maybe when your chest is about parallel to the mat, release the hands, maybe fingertips to the floor, maybe to your blocks. Okay. Lift the hip and groin creases. So back of the neck is long, crown of the head reaches forward toward me. Okay. And then depending on how the hips are feeling for you today, if you can come from the hips, then maybe start to walk the hands back. Lowering your sternum, maybe crown of the head toward the mat. Okay. Prasarita Padottanasana D, you can always catch the ankles. And to add that little shoulder opening, heart opening, chest opening love, maybe interlace the fingers behind you. Squeeze the arms together to straighten. And then start to lift the pinkies up toward the ceiling. Again, let your head relax, your neck relax, your face is soft. Take a breath here. And if you've got that shoulder opener, start to exhale, lower the hands back toward your sacrum, undo the hands. Bring the hands to the floor. Inhale, start to lift the chest, walk the hands forward so they're back out underneath the shoulders. And now point those right toes or opposite toes for you toward the front edge, or now the back, I suppose, of your mat. Little bend in the knees, bring the hands to the hips. We're going to come all the way up. And we're going to take Virabhadrasana 2 over here, okay? So get yourself set up so that right heel or front foot lines up with the arch of that back foot. Arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Relax the shoulders again. Pada Bandha super active on that foot that's in front now, keeping that knee and shin vertical. Good, again, relax the shoulders, the tongue. Drishti down your right fingertips if that's the side you're on. Good. And now straighten out that right leg as you inhale, pivot on the heels. Exhale, come forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. And again, situate the feet so that they are where they need to be for you. So if the hamstrings are a little tighter, you might notice that the toes kind of pull in, heels turn out. Some of you might be toes straight forward. Again, some might be toes pointing out to the corner of your mat. Doesn't matter, okay? Make it fit you rather than trying to squeeze you into how you think an asana should look. Any variation you want to play with here. Again, relax your face, your head, your neck. And just connect with your breath. For those of you with a strong pranayama practice, maybe you're already practicing and maintaining your ujjayi breath. Great for calming and grounding. And then on an inhale, start to walk the hands forward so they're underneath the shoulders once again. Okay. And then this time, turn the heels in, toes out, bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. We're going to come all the way back up to stand here, finally straightening the legs. Okay. Pull the right toes in. Left toes point toward the front of your mat. And now pivoting on the heels here, you should be key alignment pieces, heel to heel alignment, setting up for our Trikonasana. I'm going to grab a block. Might not be a bad idea, even if triangle's a breeze for you. I always recommend using a block, regardless of where you're at in your practice. If you're using a block, bring it to the inside of that left ankle, probably at its highest height. Okay? Take the arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Again, head and neck turn toward those front toes or towards that front hand. And now think about sliding along a wall. Okay? We're going to reach this left sitting bone back toward that right heel. And I'll reach the left fingertips forward until you can't get any more length out of these left ribs, okay? And now bring that hand to the block at whatever height is relevant for you, but maybe start with that highest height. And then press into the block to open and expand through the chest. Position the head and neck so it's comfortable for you. Might be up, okay? Might be straightforward, might be down. Pada Bandha super active through both feet, particularly that right little toe. Okay, that's going to keep that side anchored down, your right thigh and hip in external rotation, and allow you to spin these right ribs kind of back and down, left ribs tuck forward and under toward the camera or toward you. Good. Let's take a breath here. And if you're looking up, exhale, look down. A little bend in that left knee, particularly if you're a hyperextender. Okay? Press through the feet. Use your inhale. Root through the legs to come all the way back up. So now as the shoulders and the arms start to slide back this way, hips slide back that way. Okay? Lower the arms. Grab your block. We'll go to the other side. So let's pull these left toes forward. Point the right toes toward the front of your mat or short edge of your mat. Block to the inside of that ankle. Arms out from the side, palms down, okay? And again, just think of moving laterally. You can only move side to side here. So this right sitting bone Reach it back toward that left heel. Reach the right fingertips forward. Good. And now windmill down. Bring that hand to the block. Whether it's fingertips, base of the fingers, doesn't matter. Reach this left arm up, maybe even look up. Open and expand through the chest. I love using the block here because you've got a lot of space to create a lot of space. Okay. Nice. Breathe here. Variations in Trikonasana, a ton of them. You can take a full or half bound, triangle. Another way too to really kind of open up the lungs, kind of the focus, this thing going on around the world here, is even reaching this top arm just right alongside the ear. That'll free up the lungs. Okay, it doesn't have to be this practice, but you can try it in another practice. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, looking down towards your right toes. Again, little bend in the knees as you need. As you inhale, root through the legs, coming all the way back up. And then just lower the arms. Good. You can grab your block, just get it out of the way. Good. And then whether you toe heel the feet together until you can step or jump together. Let's come all the way toward the front of the mat, back into Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a breath here. Good. And then as you inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen half forward fold. Bend the knees as much or as little as you need. Exhale, refold. Good. We're going to step that left foot far back. Okay. Coming into Ashtachandrasana, high lunge. So root through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms. Coming into your high lunge. Again, palms in, thumbs back. Set the shoulders down. Interlace the fingers. Catch the back of the head. Inhale, open the elbows, open the chest. Good. Back leg is active and it's straight-ish. Okay. Really press out through the ball of that left foot, heel of the left foot. Take a breath here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step that right foot back. You can stay here, take a vinyasa if you'd like. Okay. Nice. And then when you're ready from down dog, right foot's coming forward. Okay, we're going to stay here again. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. Palms in, thumbs back. Set the shoulders down. Good. Bring the left palm to your mat. Reach the right arm up. Take a twist toward me. Reach to the fingertips. Press that left heel back. Good. Exhale. Set that right palm down. Step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa here or stay right here. And then from downward facing dog, when you're there, stepping that left foot forward between the hands, however you need to get it all the way up there safely. Okay? Back leg is active. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms. Ashtachandrasana, high lunge. Sink the hips. Lift the heart. Good. Again, back leg is straight-ish. Bend the elbows, interlace the fingers, open the chest. Good. Back leg is rooted. Padabandha through both feet. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step that left foot back. Find your downward facing dog. You know me, I can't not move. Good. Take a vinyasa here if you'd like, or stay put. Even find child's pose if you'd like. And from down dog, when you're there, looking forward, step that left foot forward between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, Ashtachandrasana. Good. Bring the right palm to the floor. Reach this left arm up. Press that right heel back and twist. Exhale, bring the left palm to the floor. Step that left foot back into your downward facing dog. Again, another chance to take a vinyasa here if you're feeling it. Good. And from downward facing dog, bring that right knee forward. Park it by the right thumb. We're going to come into pigeon here. Okay. Curl the left toes under, or keep them curled under until you can lengthen that left leg away from you. Okay. Release to the top of that left foot. Walk the hands back so that you can stay upright and lifted through the chest. Use your props here. So if you feel like without the help of the hands, you're rolling over onto that outer right hip, support that outer right hip with a blanket, maybe a block. If the hips are really tight and you're all the way up here, use a whole block underneath the pelvis, okay? Mild enthusiasm in the top of that left foot. That's going to help you keep the hips square. You can certainly stay upright here. Shoulder blades draw down, lift the heart. Or if you want, come forward. Maybe park it to the elbows. Maybe you want to come all the way down. Forehead can go for the ground. It can go for your block. It can go for your hands. Again, a little bit of pressing the left top of the foot into the floor. And then if you've got that right heel a little further away from the front of that left hip, left thigh, maybe even that right shin is a little closer to being parallel to the front of your mat, just powerfully flex those right toes. It's going to protect that right knee. Let's take a breath here. And then if you're in a forward fold, use your inhale, walk the hands back, lift the chest, come on up. Bring the hands back on either side of that right knee, curl the left toes under. Hug the elbows in. Free that right leg, press yourself back into your downward facing dog. Good, second side. Let's bring that left knee forward, park it by the left thumb. Use those right toes to lengthen that right leg out behind you, release to the top of that right foot. And again, whatever you did on the first side might be different, totally different, might be similar, might be the same. Okay, prop up that outer hip with whatever you got. Maybe it's just a corner of a blanket or a wad of sweatshirt, that's good. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, pressing lightly into the top of that right foot. Okay, that's going to help you keep that right hip drawing forward, left hip drawing back. And then whatever you did on the first side, do the same here. Maybe you're walking it forward, parking it to the elbows, or coming all the way forward, resting the forehead to a block or to the floor or to your hands. Relax your tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let your eyes close maybe. Again, connect with your breath. Good. And then if you were all the way forward, use your inhale, walk the hands back, lift the chest, come on up. Curl the right toes under. Press the palms into the floor, hug the elbows in, send that left leg back, downward facing dog. Good. And then coming all the way forward, whether you walk the feet halfway forward or practicing your jump through with the legs into Dandasana, I'm just going to kind of come a little bit of both. Okay, take the legs out in front of you. We're going to come into Navasana. So knees bent. Find your balance more towards your sacrum. Okay, but to start, find your sitting bones, lift the heart, hug the elbows in. You can catch behind the back of the knees, front of the knees or shins. Start to walk the feet back, okay? And then just play with any variation of Navasana. So give a little tuck to the chin, back of the neck is long. Whether you're just barely lifting the toes off the floor, again, chest lifts, hug the elbows in. Maybe you're lifting one leg at a time, okay? Maybe both at a time, okay? Try not to go from 0 to 60, okay? Whether you reach the hands forward or extend the legs. If you haven't done it before, maybe don't try everything at once, okay? For those of you that are more advanced practice, if you want to take Urdhva Paschimottanasana, catch the big toes or fully extend the legs, got a couple of breaths to play here, okay? Navasana here with the calves parallel to the floor is perfect, okay? Lift the chest, give a little tuck to the chin, breathe here. Good. Exhale, set the feet down, cross the legs. Step the hands forward, step the knees back. Right back into your downward facing dog. Good. And then coming all the way forward, walk, step, or jump. Both feet up to the front of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, lengthen here. Exhale, refold. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up to stand. And then on your exhale, hands to the heart. Nice. And then again, set that down, find your mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll come into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, our extended hand to big toe pose. So if you have a strap, you'd like to use a strap during this particular variation of big toe pose, you can certainly grab that. Otherwise, hand to big toe. Okay, it's in the name. So from wherever you're at, wherever you're going, always want to start in that foundational posture of Tadasana. Okay, got to learn to stand on 2 feet before we take one away. Good. So let's start with the right leg is our standing leg. Okay, so shifting the weight in that right leg, maintain Padabandha. Just pull that left knee in toward the chest. Maybe catch the front of that knee or shin or back of the leg. Draw the shoulder blades back, lift the sternum. Okay, if you're feeling pretty good here, maybe 2 fingers of that left hand, catch the left big toe. And again, upright through the chest here. Draw this left shoulder blade back like you're pulling back a bow and arrow. Okay, heart stays lifted, rooting down through that standing leg without the leg being locked. If you're still good here and you want a little bit more, start to flex the joint of that big toe into the 2 fingers. Okay, maybe work to take that leg straight. Okay, you can stay out here or open that leg out to the side. Whether the hand stays to the hip, you can take a mudra out here. Doesn't matter. Connect with your breath. Utilize all your bandhas, your root chakra. That's where we're really focusing on today. Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha, your solar plexus, even a little Jalahara bandha, your throat. Okay, and now bring that leg back to center. Rebend the knee, and then just set that foot down. Back into your Tadasana. Take a couple of breaths here, rooting down through Padabandha through both feet. And then whenever you're ready, just pull that right knee into the chest. Lift the heart. Okay. Don't be in a rush. Stay here. Okay. If you're, right side dominant, maybe the other side was a little bit better for you. Maybe this is a little more challenging. Okay. Or vice versa. Whether you strap the foot or 2 fingers of that right hand catch the right big toe. Again, whatever this left arm is doing is whatever you need it to do. Can even come to the heart here. Start to flex the big toe joint into the 2 fingers as you work to take that leg straight. Okay. And then again, on your own time, if you did on the other side, very slowly start to open that leg out to the side. Okay. You're still drawing the shoulder blades back in toward the midline of the body. Pressing that right heel away, rooting down through the left leg. And then slowly bring that leg back to center. Good. And then just as mindfully as you got into it, set that down. Good. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand salute. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Good. Inhale, lift the chest, look forward. Exhale, refold. Step both feet back or float through Chaturanga. Take a Vinyasa if you'd like. Good. And if you're approaching upward facing dog, stay there. We'll meet you there. Okay. So for those of you coming from down dog, skipping Chaturanga, maybe inhale, shift forward, come into plank, kind of rock the toes back so you can get the hips lower. So the back of the head, sacrum, heels are in a straight line. And then press off the toes, little mindful big toe adjustment here. Release to the knees. And then just start to slowly lower, melting the thighs, pubic, hips. Press into the hands, lift the heart. Head and neck are the last to come up, option 1. 2, pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the thighs and the knees. Really lift the heart. Relax the shoulders. Notice they're not around the ears. Exhale, lower the knees, the thighs. Sit back, find your child's pose, Balasana. Any variation you'd like. Whether the arms are extended forward, or maybe you draw the arms back alongside the body, palms up by the feet. In which case, allow the shoulders, the elbows to just slump down toward the floor. Good. Whenever you're ready, bring the hands underneath the shoulders if they're behind you. And just inhale, lift the chest, come all the way back up. We're going to transition onto our backs. Okay. So coming all the way down. And then once you're here, pull the knees in toward the chest and give yourself a hug. Good. And then keeping that left knee hugging in toward the chest, straighten your right leg all the way down. And pressing out through both heels, hug that left shin, left knee in closer to you. Reach that right leg away. And we'll come into Supta Parivartanasana, our reclined twist. So take the left arm out to the side, as much as you have or can make room for, palm down. Okay? Right hand to the outer left knee. And then either, as you come over into your twist, maybe you can just allow that left foot just kind of fall behind the inseam or the back of that right leg. Or you can always step your left foot on top of that right thigh if that's more comfortable for you. Okay? And then a little bit of pressing that right hand into the outer left knee. Start to gently roll onto your outer right hip, right thigh. Okay? And then turn the head and neck to the left, reaching the left fingertips away from that left shoulder. Relax your shoulders, relax your tongue. Full breaths here. Good. And then on your inhale, bring the head and neck back to center first. And as you exhale, rolling back onto your back, set the left foot to the floor. Rebend that right knee, foot to the floor. Okay. You might even need to press into the feet or the heels, lift the hips. Let's hug the knees into the chest again. Rock it out. And maybe even here, inhale, forehead to the knees, coming into Apanasana tuck pose. And then when you're ready, exhale, just roll the shoulders, the head back to the floor. This time, keep a hold of the right knee. Straighten your left leg down. Press out through both heels, spread both sets of toes. Draw the shoulder blades down into your mat as you hug that right knee, right shin in toward you. Okay. And we'll take that twist over here. So right arm out from the shoulder, palm down. Left hand to the outer right knee. Gently roll onto your outer left hip, left thigh. Okay. And again, park that right foot where it's most comfortable for you. And then turning the head and neck to the right, maybe let your eyes close or your drishtis just toward your right fingertips. Full breaths here. And inhale, bringing your head and neck back to center first. And then as you exhale, roll back onto your back, set the right foot to your sticky mat, rebend that left knee, foot to the floor. And again, press into the feet, lift the hips. Let's one more time hug both knees into the chest. And then bring the arms alongside the body, palms down. Extend the legs up, Supta Dandasana, recline staff pose. Relax the shoulders. Flex the feet again, spread both sets of toes. Just because the feet aren't bearing any weight right now doesn't mean we want to lose Pada Bandha, okay? So think about that action in your Tadasana or in your standing postures, even when we're seated in our foundational postures, okay? Feet are active. We have two foundations always at work. One's primary, one's secondary, okay? Feet, if that's what's closest to the mat, that is your primary foundation. Pelvic floor is your secondary. In our seated postures, that is our primary foundation. But feet, they still have a part to play. Okay? You will notice through your practice, especially if you stick with me, how much we focus on the feet in Pada Bandha, and what that does to benefit our overall yoga practice. Starting to incorporate your bandhas really improves your flexibility, your balance, your strength, and really does a lot of good things for your pelvic floor and for your transverse abdominis. Okay, let's take a breath here. And then exhale, bend the knees, release the heels, and then one at a time set the feet back to your mat. Good. And then we'll come into Shavasana, so extending the legs down. Okay. And then from here, make any adjustments that you need to make with your clothing or with your body, or if you want blanket or pillows or a supported Shavasana with a bolster or blocks or whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. But once you get all the way here, maybe inhale, lift the chest, snuggle the tips of the shoulder blades down the back, and then press out through the feet, the heels, and then just completely relax the legs, front of the hips, thighs, knees, so much so that the feet just naturally turn outward. And allowing your eyes to fall closed. Just following your inhales and your exhales. Allowing yourself this time at the end of your asana practice to just be. Relax your face, your cheeks. Relaxing your tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relax your jaw. And then check in with the shoulders. Just let gravity. Just release the shoulders, the arms, the legs, the torso. Let it be heavy. Soften across your forehead, your face. And if there's any tension that's still hanging on, or maybe anything that might have inadvertently been created during your practice, or anything that's just kind of sticking with you during this stressful time, see if you can or need to let that go a little bit more. And allow this time of Shavasana to be just that, corpse pose. It's a time to allow our old limiting beliefs, behaviors, our old neurological grooves, samskaras, to just fall away. To be transformed and transmuted and renewed and refreshed into healing and renewing, allowing things that no longer serve us to die, to fall away, to burn away. And taking rest here until I call you back. Inviting your awareness back to your breath. And if you're not quite ready to come back, that's fine. Stay right there. Otherwise, maybe start to wiggle the fingers, move the toes some. If it feels good, take a big stretch. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Maybe point and flex through the feet. Good. Or maybe bend the knees and bring it in for a hug. Whatever would feel good as you're finding your way back. Just allowing the head and neck to gently rock side to side. Take your time. And whenever you're ready, finding your way over to your right side. Whether it's a moment there or several, just savoring the last few moments of your yoga practice for today. And whenever it is that you're ready to eventually come to sit, use your left palm and gently press yourself up. And sitting comfortably on your mat, I'll invite you to bring the hands together in front of the heart, bow the gaze in gratitude for this time spent on your mat and the dedication to your beautiful practice. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and free from suffering. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing with me today. I'll see you next.